Absolutely. They're all in beachside suburbs in Victoria and in New South Wales. We'll put wind farms all along the sand and see what people think about that. Let's go to the terrible reality, if I can, Claire Chandler. We've got 1,600 companies across Australia, manufacturing and construction in particular, that have announced insolvency in the past 6 months. Now, that's just a number of businesses. Of course, the number of jobs, thousands and thousands more. The PM talked a big game before the last election, saying he was going to bring manufacturing back to Australia, but a lot more is left under his watch than being returned. Why the big failure?
Well, Peter, I think the main reason we're seeing a failure here is because we've seen so many failures of this government, and we know that's because they have their priorities completely wrong. In the lead up to the last election, Prime Minister Albanese was more than happy to say that he was going to rebuild the manufacturing industry in Australia by the end of his first term of government. Well, we're halfway through that term now, and like you say, on those numbers, our manufacturing industry is only going backwards. Companies are leaving Australian shores, and we instead spent the first 18 months of the Albanese government talking about his failed voice referendum. So once again, this is another example of this government having its priorities absolutely wrong, and Australians are losing out as a result.
Jono, calls today again for the Environmental Defender's Office to be defunded. Tony Abbott defunded them back in 2014. Labor reinstated that funding. The judgment from Justice Charlesworth in this giant Santos case that's been brought down. I mean, it's absolutely embarrassing for this organisation. Surely taxpayers shouldn't be paying them to go against government decisions, government projects that our budget desperately needs.
Spot on. It should be a defunding of the EDO with immediate effect. I mean, Justice Charlesworth gave what I think is an uncharacteristically scathing assessment of the EDO's lack of integrity. The fact that they were manipulating and coaching witnesses to suit their arguments was, I think, astounding to read about, but it actually points to everything the Coalition have been saying about the EDO and why Tony Abbott, quite rightly, all those years ago, defunded this organisation. It doesn't deserve the support it's getting. I'm all for community legal services where we're helping those who need it in the community, women's legal services, tenants' unions and the like. But this is about stopping projects, like you say, $16 billion worth of projects. It's like we have an autoimmune disease in this government. What government funds an organisation to then go and legally appeal its own decisions? That causes job losses and economic destruction. It is madness, and they should end the funding today.